Good afternoon and welcome to Artists of Color. And I'm Elaine Hall-Corbin, your host. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. And we have actually a very special show this afternoon. As you know, Artists of Color disseminates art and culture from around the Roxbury community. And we talk about different types of mediums of art. So today I am talking with two gentlemen, Arthur Williams III and Jamil Farrar.
Correct.
Who are both part of, one is an actor and the other one is the director of photography. Correct. For a film called SELLA's Kitchen?
SELLA's Kitchen.
SELLA's Kitchen, which will be filming shortly in the Boston area.
Correct.
So we're here to talk to them and get a little idea as to what the film's about, what it's like to be a filmmaker, how the film is done, how you put together a film, get a little idea about who you guys are and how you do what you do.
Good.
So I want to start with Jamil.
Okay.
Jamil, tell us a little bit about you.
I'm a Philly guy.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yeah, I grew up in Philly, born and raised. I still currently live there. And well, the love of film. Right now, what I do is my day job right now is I work at a high school. You know, I work with children with intellectual disabilities.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. And
beautiful.
And my second job is obviously cinematography.
All right. Mm-hmm. How did you get into cinematography?
Well, when I was younger, my father, he loves watching movies. So it's something that I followed. I love watching movies myself. And one thing I really like to do is read. So I love reading stories and I like telling stories, but I can't write. So I figured, what's another way that I can tell a story, without writing? So I figured, maybe I could show it on screen. And I always knew that I wanted to go into film. That's what I did it in high school, I did it in college, and went straight through with it. And that's how I grew to love film from young.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What formal training do you have? Or did you teach yourself?
No, well, I did study it in college. I studied film in college.
Where?
I went to IUP, Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never heard of them, but it's cool with me.
Yeah, they're out in western PA. So
okay.
Close to Pittsburgh.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
All right.
And so I went and I studied television production. And then, television production, I loved it. I went on first as talent, so I was in front of camera, but I realized that I really like being behind camera more. I kind of liked the directing aspect of it.
Really?
Yep. And my senior year there, actually, I became producer of a television show up there entitled Urban Superior. But
Urban Superior?
Yeah, that's where a lot of my experience came from. And then I started taking advanced classes, which led me to film. And I started to learn, how to edit, how to shoot, and I taught myself on a DSLR.
What's a DSLR?
So,
do tell me that.
Yeah, the DSLR, it's a camera. They have cameras that strictly record, and then cameras that can do both photography and videography, which are DSLRs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like being the director of photography?
It's amazing.
Is it?
Yes, because that's actually my ultimate goal, is to be the director of photography of major motion films. So right now, this is amazing for me, being as though this is the first film that I'm being the DP for.
Oh, all right.
Like I said, I'm able to take words, some words that someone written and show them on screen and make them visually beautiful.
I like that. That is really nice. Okay, that is great. Mm-hmm. I know in a little while we're going to see a piece of work that you've done mm-hmm. before the movie before SELLA's Kitchen?
SELLA's Kitchen, right.
SELLA's Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people to see that part. But I want to actually have a conversation with Arthur here. Arthur, very interesting because mm-hmm. we discovered that we know each other from way back.
Right, yeah.
I know about you, mm-hmm. but tell my audience about you.
Okay, well, I was born and raised, as you know, here in Roxbury, Massachusetts. And I got into entertainment by way of my mother, who was a local jazz singer, actually R&B jazz singer, back in the 60s and 70s. And her name was Yvonne Lassell.
Okay.
And her last group that she performed with was Hopeton Johnson and the Ambassadors, and that was back in the 80s before she had passed away. Then she sung pretty much up until the last moment. But it was because of her. Actually, I almost didn't want to be in entertainment because I thought it was a woman's field.
You thought it was
as a little
woman's
bit.
field.
But then I saw
No.
James Brown.
Oh.
And when I saw James Brown, saw him live, and that changed my mind. That changed my mind totally. So I guess my first performance was like when I was 5, and they'll play House in the Park.
Yes.
Things, okay, back in the day. And so,
We're going way back, aren't
yeah,
we?
Yeah, we sure are. Yeah. So that was my first performance, and then I ended up playing with my mom down at the Highland Tap on matinee Sundays.
Sundays?
I did that also. I played bongos and congos for her back then.
Nice.
So she pretty much cultivated the artistic part of me, and then I just kind of kept it going from there. She really didn't want me to go down that avenue because, especially for her, a woman back in those days, especially here in Massachusetts, it was really hard for them to get into entertainment and to rise to any kind of real level.
That's true.
And then there was just a lot of things that you had to go through. So she didn't want to see me go through that. But anyway, I took it on as time went. It was embedded in me. So that's how I got started in entertainment.
All right. Did you do formal training
I did.
for this? Where did you train at?
Well, I went in school, in elementary, junior high, and high school. I went to school in Newton, Massachusetts,
Right.
graduated from Newton North High School. And they have, especially back then, I don't know what it's like now, but their arts program was very good. It's a very good arts program. Okay. After that, I went on to Emerson College, and I studied there.
You're in Emerson.
Yeah, I was an Emerson gentleman, yes. And,
Yeah, there you go.
And then I ended up being taught by other people. Like, for instance, I have a acting coach named Mike Messier, who he's phenomenal. It's the Messier mantra is what he calls his form of artistic training. Right, and then I also have, I was also in Boston Youth Theater for 3 years under the tutelage of Elaine Hall-Corbin.
Okay.
So, and her, and being in Boston Youth as a young man, I was like 18 years old, 18, 19, I think, and 20. It was almost the equivalent of getting a bachelor's degree in arts.
In theatrical art.
Theatrical arts, because she's a very powerful and dynamic woman.
Really?
And very intelligent. So she knows how to take her ideas and just project them, in various ways. And she showed us under her
How to do
guide,
that
her guide,
for you,
how to
through
do that for
yourselves.
Exactly.
Fantastic. We're going to talk about the film, and I want to because this is how we all got together.
Right.
And actually, I want to know, how did you get into this film?
Okay.
Celie's Kitchen.
For Sella's Kitchen.
Yeah.
So, long story.
Okay, I'm waiting. You can start.
So for
We got plenty of time.
For me becoming a cinematographer for the DP for Sella's Kitchen, it started back in Boston and Philly. Originally, when I graduated college, I was struggling to find a job, and I was applying here, applying there, and nothing was working for me. So I finally got a little gig, and I was able to save up. I saved up every paycheck so I can buy my camera. I figured if I go and buy my camera, I can bring some money in. You gotta spend money to make money. That was always my motto. So once I got my camera, I got a call back from Ralph's team, and they said, hey, you can come on. And I actually went on Boston and Philly as a PA. So I was, I came on as a PA, and I was helping them with the production. And due to unfortunate events, the main camera operator had to drop out the team. So, we were struggling to find a camera operator, and I was like, hey, Ralph.
We got a camera operator right here.
I have some experience. If you want to give me some, give me a chance, I can show you what I can do. And he said, okay, fit right in. And once I did that, he really liked what I was able to do, and I was able to keep the production going, and I became the main camera operator for the film. So I was able to show him a lot of the skill sets that I have and bring to the team, bring more to the team what had left. So he said, you know, I really like what you can do, and I think that, you know, I would like to bring you on Sella's Kitchen as a DP.
Sella's Kitchen.
And that's how I came on as Sella's Kitchen as the DP.
What is a DP?
It's director of photography. It's just short for.
Right, but what is that?
Yes.
What is that?
I am the person who pretty much take the words from his script and make them visually beautiful. So I'm the real technical guy, the one who makes sure we use this camera for this shot, we use this lens for this scene. And you know, I'm the one who do that, and I'm the one that directs the scenes, how they're shot and how they look when you watch it.
Okay.
That's what the cinematographer is.
That's what it is. Okay. So you kind of got pulled into Sella's Kitchen by the fact that they needed a director of photography. Because the one you had,
right,
kind of like, which was good for you, which was good, and good for me.
Well, for Sella's Kitchen, I came on as a DP because of Boston to Philly.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So you did Boston to Philly before this?
Right, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to see a piece of that, a little bit of that, but can you give me a little bit of an idea what that was about?
Boston to Philly?
Boston to Philly.
Yes, it's a comedy drama, and it was revolving around a young man by the name of well, it was Ralph. He was playing Boston. That was his name in the film.
Oh.
And due to unfortunate events, his parents passed. They both passed in a tragic accident. So his only family left was in Philly. So he had to come to Philly and stay with a family member there. Because of that accident, he had a hard time forming relationships, and you know, just everyday life was very hard for him. And pretty much he goes to a college in Philly, and one of the projects that the professor assigned was for people to get into groups that you don't know, and you know, develop a relationship, and you know, whoever can, you know, develop a relationship. And the prize for the best project would be $50,000. So the story follows.
We're going to take a small break, and we're going to bring the film in, and we're going to talk about that as we, absolutely, we're going to do that.
Son, come back in. I lost my family!
He has a godmother in Philadelphia.
They're sending me away!
His only other relative.
And what are you doing about it? Nothing!
We have no choice but to follow protocol. There's no way around it.
Cause it's a revolution.
No more questions. Thank you very much.
Bullshit! Dude, he said bullshit!
You're saying you're doing a good job. Whole time people out here looking dumb as hell.
I just call bullshit when I see it!
Think about it. All we know, people selling, people robbing. We got family members still in that trap life. We not worrying about the consequences because we too broke. The inability to understand the consequences of one's actions based on financial privilege. It's called affluenza.
What? Man, I don't believe that.
Believe it, it's real.
Treat us how you treat your mom.
I'm going to sleep.
Far from campus, ain't you?
I came to see him.
Say his name. Say his name.
Came to see Jared.
Go home, man. Philly. So you don't love me anymore? I love you.
Feel that feeling cat with that real hot flow. I'm popular when it goes, cause I be keeping it real, cause I be hanging with the MCs and your little skill.
Don't even ask me if it's okay. I know you do what you want.
I see something I like that takes my breath away. I need to look at it. I need to stare at it. I need to chase it from the train station and learn her name.
That's sweet. That's really sweet.
All right, Mariah, right?
Are you my doctor?
No. So what you do to line up in this paradise?
Savvy's our volunteer here. She's a great help to us. She's a life coach, and she's about the best one that I know.
I remain an individual, one different from the rest. I stay as I am, so I'm far from sight. I will find what's possible by aiming for the impossible.
This is my first year as a professor, and I want you to develop a deeper understanding of your inner self, your connection to others. Maybe you'll discover your passion. I want you to rely on your group as a crutch. I want you to reach to them and to discover and explore ideas and emotions you never could on your own.
I'm a cutter.
Why do you do that?
It's a way for me to feel the pain and be relieved. That's something that I struggle with.
I want you to remember something. A dream that you dream alone is just a dream. But a dream that you dream together, that's reality. Welcome to college.
We're gonna have to help each other if we want to pass this assignment. We're gonna have to be honest with one another, so maybe we can figure out what's going on in here and in here.
Wow.
You guys got your big houses, white picket fence.
I don't have a white picket fence. I don't even know what that is.
I guess this is our home.
Yeah, this can be our home.
You must be not mine.
Play one-on-one.
Are you crazy?
For your heart.
No.
Who's your ball first? You got the umbrella.
I'm not messing up my
Thank you, and welcome back to Artists of Color. And that was a profound film. There's a lot I could ask you about that film. I mean, really.
There is.
You talk about how you take words and make them, and the photography makes them beautiful. The cast that did this film, how did you make them beautiful?
Besides the sheer talent that
Yes.
they had. The one thing I try to do with having a photography background is when I shoot, you know, when you look at a picture, like they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. I want everything I shoot to be visually beautiful to the point that anytime in the film, if you were to pause it, you can look at it as a photograph. Like, wow, that's nice. So I always keep that mindset when I'm shooting. And that's what I try to do when I shoot. And since it was shot in Philly, and that's where I'm from, I wanted to show Philly in a new, different way than what people are used to hearing about Philly. So I wanted to show the beautiful sides of Philly and just show them that Philly is not, because a lot of times Philly have a bad name to it, or oh, Philly's this, Philly's that. But I wanted to show that Philly isn't bad. Philly is a great city, and I just wanted to show people that, you know, there are some good sides to Philly.
Okay. Why was the film called Philly to Boston?
Boston to Philly, it was called because that's where the main character was from. He was from Boston.
He was from Boston.
And once his parents died, he had to be sent to Philadelphia, and he was sent to Philly. And his love interest in the film is nicknamed Philly.
Oh, the young lady?
Yep.
Okay. And I noticed there's so much goes on in that film. I mean, you know, it looks like there are broken homes. There are young people that have no self-esteem. They don't know where they're going with their lives. There are those that feel like they don't want to be here anymore. You know, they feel like there's nothing holding them. They have no passion for anything, really. They don't even have a passion for themselves.
Right.
When you took, and I'm going to ask, is when you took, I would say, lines from the script and you put them into film, what was your feeling behind that? What was your feeling in doing that?
When reading it, I know how it made me feel.
Okay.
And I know that it's not the same in reading to watching it. So I try my best to just, you know, pull the same emotion that you would get from reading it, but from watching it. So I try to shoot certain things to evict that emotion, you know, to pull that emotion from the person that's watching.
Okay. Wow, that was a very powerful clip there. I really like that. So now I'm going to bring us up to Sally's house,
Sella's Kitchen.
Kitchen. Okay. But anyway, Sella's Kitchen. I know the producer not with us today, but do you know why? Do either one of you know why that name was picked for the film? I mean, was there a particular part of the the script that made it come up with that name? Because I want to say that maybe there wasn't that name before, you know, that maybe the script was just written, but there actually was not a name for it yet.
The name was specifically picked. It was picked for a reason. It's a secret throughout the entire film up until a certain point, so I don't want to give that secret out here.
Okay.
But the name have a very big meaning, and it's nice. It's nice.
Okay. All right. Arthur,
But the original name of the character is Marley. I can say that. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the nickname of the character.
Now, I was reading some information here from the press kit, and I was told originally Marley was supposed to have been a male.
That's correct. Yeah.
What happened?
Auditions. You know, you have a certain look that you want a character to be, but you have an audition that come in and totally take over and give you everything that you want. You have no choice but to give it to that person. Wow. So we went back and forth, and we were like, wow, Marley can be a female.
Marley can be a female?
Yes, you can.
Did you find that did you find her being a female was stronger?
I did actually.
Than her having to have been
a male?
A male?
I did, because for one, when you think of hip hop, there are some female hip hop artists, yes, but there aren't a lot. So when you think of someone that's like a hip hop historian, you wouldn't think of a female. So I think that made it that much powerful that, you know, yes, we can have some female hip hop historians. That knows the game.
Wow. Arthur?
Yes.
You are Napo.
Yes.
In the film. Tell us a little bit about Napo.
Okay. Napo, he's actually, that's his nickname. His real name is Pierre, and Napo is short for Napoleon. Because he kind of rules his team like a tyrant. And he knows that he's not going to be liked. He even lets them know, you know, first day, you're not going to like me, you know. And he works to make people not like him.
Wow.
So he has a method to his madness, but he also, like some of the characters from in Boston to Philly, he was a little broken also. And yeah, he had something tragic happen. I'm not going to try not to give away the movie, but he had something tragic happen to him early in the movie. And from that tragedy, he became bitter. But he made a promise to open up his own restaurant. And he now, in opening up his restaurant now, just like auditions, he has to go and find his crew, his team. And then he stumbles upon SELLA. And it's SELLA, it's almost like Stella without the T.
Yeah.
So that should help you remember it.
Yes,
SELLA.
it will. So, now I will remember it.
Right. So yeah, he had to go out and he found his team. And almost like the characters in Boston and Philly, they too, from the head of the fish on down to the tail, they had some broken parts to their souls. And so basically, through the union and relationship and what turns out to be family amongst them all, they start to heal. You know, and as they grow, as they get a bond with each other. And at some point, you know, just like, you know, life in any relationship, you know, you have turbulence and things start to break down, but basically, you know, they saw each other for who they really are, you know, truly, you know, through the soul, because it's almost like looking at themselves in the mirror. And so that's pretty much what, you know, the theme was, is pretty much to, you know, bond by way of, you know, how they say, baptism by fire.
Yep. What made you want to do this film?
Well, you know, this is my job. I'm a full-time actor.
Right.
So I saw Ralph post the Boston to Philly movie that he was about to screen. So I posted it on my timeline, and he gave me the thumbs up. And so, of course, because I support all artists, you know, throughout Massachusetts, artists, period.
Okay.
And so I went to Arlington where they were screening it. It was raining that day. And I even considered, I said, oh man, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it. But you know what? This is what I do. This is what they're doing. The show has to go on. So I went.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I went. And I saw the movie, and it was, as you feel, I was very compelled by the movie. And so at the end of it, Ralph Celestin, he had a Q&A. So I stayed for the Q&A, and then I introduced myself to him after that was all over, and he invited me months later to come down for an audition for Sella's Kitchen, and audition for the lead role. And I was very honored that he asked me to come down and audition for the lead role, and I did. Went down, auditioned it, killed it.
He said, killed it.
Yeah,
got it.
You got the.
When you auditioned for the part, what did you prepare? How did you prepare yourself to do that? To do that part?
Okay. At first, I didn't know he was Haitian American, so I didn't do any accent. And as a matter of fact, this particular character, Napo, he doesn't have a strong accent, so that's kind of good because I'm not Haitian.
There you go.
But you know, I'm an actor, and
actors can do many things.
That's right. And so I just reading the script, just like I do all scripts, you know, and they call sides when you only get a portion of it. And I read, you know, what I was sent in an email, and I could feel, you know, the power from him, because there was two scenes. One was him with, I guess it was his girlfriend. Later on in the movie, he acquired a girlfriend. He was married, but you know, something happened there. But then he had a girlfriend, so that was a softer side of him. And then there was the first day of training and competition, because it was more like a competition for the people, his crew that was involved, because the competition was someone being head of the kitchen, kind of like the maitre d'. And SELLA, she was one in competition with another character named Sherry. So you see I mean, they were going at it.
The dynamics were going.
They were cutthroat. So, but before I got there, in reading the script, and knowing that he's now talking to a crew of people, and he actually lets them know he's their general. So that word in itself, that you know, because he emulates him, or he pretends. I don't know if he pretends to be, but I don't know if he really likes Napoleon, and he's just, I want to be a tyrant. He just has it out to really be a mean, angry individual.
Whoa!
So I had no problem with that. So
he said, I had no problem with that.
I had no problem with that. I said, oh, this guy's angry? I said, oh, please.
I can do that?
Yeah, I could definitely be angry. I'm angry every day.
Oh, wow.
But, you know, kind of kidding. But yeah, I was able to bring that anger thing. I mean, it was, and I try to do roles that will challenge, you know, my skills, my ability, my acting skills, and try to stay away from things that are too easy. Because for me, being angry is really easy. You know, having, you know, a mean face and being aggravated is really easy. But the thing about this movie is that being a culture that I'm not of, you know, I
That,
have to.
yeah, that makes you have to work a little bit harder
Right.
to get that.
Right. So, you know, it's a lot of research I have to do, and I have a lot of friends that are Haitian. And so I'm just, and now I listen to them in different ways now. You know, I watch the
because now
mannerisms.
that you've done now that you've done that particular part, it makes you want to
It's
listen
right.
more.
Right. So I embrace the culture much more than I did before, because it's me at this point in time through this movie. So.
Okay. All right. What other films have you done?
Okay. Well, I've done a lot of background extra work. I've done some indie movies, and I've done some web series. The web series things, that was, you know, just coming up, you know, as I was
Web
to build
series?
up
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's a kind of a new thing. I did a web series trailer called, escapes my mind. Well, I did a trailer.
Okay, you did a trailer.
It's been that long, and it's been that much. It's been that much more work that I've had. That it's like,
that
okay,
you're not.
yeah. I'm like, okay, what was it? In Plain View. That was the name of it.
In Plain View.
Yes.
Okay.
Joseph Conforti. He was the writer and producer of it, and it was actually about. It was a true story. Back in the '90s, where this cop was shot in the parking lot of where the old Bradleys used to be, over by American Legion
Highway, yeah.
Yeah, so it was about that story. And so I played in the trailer, I played this gangster.
I remember that.
Yeah. As soon as I heard about it, I'm like, wow.
Wow, I
I'd love to be
remember
part of
that.
this.
Yeah.
So I am in the trailer, this guy who was arrested and falsely charged by cops and incarcerated for 10 years under false pretenses by these cops. So I get out, and you know, I'm waiting for them because they're crooked cops anyway. So they're gonna go down.
Yeah, and that's how you.
Yeah. So that was one of the first web series. That was the first time I ever heard of a web series.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Right. And then I did a web series called Curveball, the web series, and then I did one with Flo Renola Productions, which was Undecided. I was a captain on a police force. So that, and then all the other extras, movies that I've done in background is like Ghostbusters, I've done Central Intelligence, I've done just about anything that come through Boston, Joy.
Wow.
jumped on. And then most recently, the Untitled Detroit Project.
Okay.
So.
Awesome.
You've done a lot.
Yes, and I'm still working.
And you're still working, and you're still. But I like your synopsis of your part in, you know, in SELLA's Kitchen.
Yes.
I can't wait. Is it going to be filmed here?
Yeah, some of it, yes. Most of it is shot in New York City. That's where the main character, one of the main characters, is from SELLA. She grew up and she's from Bronx.
Now, here's a question, because we're talking about SELLA's Kitchen, and you guys have talked about different things, but what is it, Boston to Philly? And when we talked about that, and then listening to you talk about SELLA's Kitchen, and it made me kind of get an idea that it was a little bit of a connection in the fact that in Boston to Philly, there's all these young people that are having all these issues and they're trying to work them through. In SELLA's Kitchen, you are dealing with young people that are actually trying to work through issues too.
That's correct.
So it's like a connection.
It is, and that's the thing about both films in SELLA's Kitchen. You know, you have multiple storylines and multiple backgrounds, and it seems like it starts out here, but then you see it starts out here, and then as the movie progresses, it all comes together. You see why each character was important for all the other characters. Each storyline is important for each other, and that's what brings it home.
Yeah, it had many layers to it. You know,
absolutely,
just like,
many.
SELLA's Kitchen has a number of layers, you know, because of the different personalities and various characters.
Well, we are going to take a short break.
Okay.
You know, I think that'd be a good idea. We could do that. You've been watching Artists of Color.
I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed all that.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Got a quarter?
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Welcome back to Artists of Color, and my guests are Arthur Williams III, Jamil Farrar,
Junior.
and we now have joining us is Ralph Celestin,
Yes.
producer and writer of Sella's Kitchen.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Very blessed to be here, guys. Thank you.
We are very happy that you're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glad you can make it.
Went through a lot to get here. So.
I'm sure you did.
I did, yeah.
So we're going to be in, hey, we want to know a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, there's a lot to know.
Who are
what
you?
What are you interested in knowing?
Who are you? What do you do? I mean, before you started writing and producing and directing films, what were you doing before that?
Okay. You know, it's a good question to ask. And I think it's always important whenever someone asks me, who I am or what title I give myself, I want to start by saying I'm a Haitian American. So, but before anything else, before the directing, before the acting, before the writing, I was just, a young boy growing up in Boston, in an area where there was a lot of tension between different classes.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in assisted housing in Arlington with my mother, single mother, and my sister. And then from there, I would always travel to different parts of Boston because I was a basketball player. So I'd go to Dorchester, I'd go to Mattapan, and I would see different parallels to that lifestyle and to the one I was living, to what I wanted, to what I had to escape from, and everything in between. So when you ask me who I am, where I come from, I come from white suburbia and the inner city. And my work, I try to reflect that, everything I do.
All right.
Yeah.
What got you into film?
Film has always just been there. I'm sure, like you guys, and of course yourself, I'm an artist, I'm a creative, and there's something that always in me that needs to be out there. I need to express myself in some capacity. And film just always said, it was something that I just liked to do. It was something that I felt comfortable doing, and it's led me to a lot of different things that I'm very blessed to be part of. And amazing people. I'm very
I
blessed
agree with you
know.
there. They are amazing.
Snazzy dressers, man.
We have been having great
looking rough
talks.
with you guys. Yeah.
We've been having great conversation.
Absolutely.
You know, and learning. I want to know about SELLA's Kitchen.
Yes.
I want to know what made you write this.
Okay.
What was it? What did you see?
Well, I think because Okay. So, SELLA's Kitchen more or less is a passion project, and the thing is, all of my projects tend to be passion projects. So it's something that I feel started from the history of who I am and my family, my culture, my upbringing. So my directorial debut of Boston to Philly, that was a 2-hour epic. You know, it showed Philadelphia through my eyes as an outsider coming in to a place I've never seen before. So with SELLA's Kitchen, I wanted to show the world and show my audience, my fan base, something that I'm very familiar with, which is the Haitian culture. I wanted to show them my passion for food, which not too many people know that I'm really big on that. I love the cuisine, yes.
Okay. Do you cook?
I do cook.
Okay.
And I'm going to make sure to bring you a plate when we premiere.
Oh, okay.
Show us the love. Yeah. So SELLA's Kitchen really just, it embodies everything that I really am passionate about. Okay. And it does so in a way that I can just show homage to my culture. And it's the first Haitian American film that I even know of being shot in Boston.
Oh,
and
all right.
They really, I've done my due diligence, and I really haven't found any.
Okay.
So
if you haven't found any, then it must not be any.
Yeah, exactly. I've been looking. So that's what SELLA's Kitchen is. It's homage to my culture, to my city, and to my craft.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you wrote it.
I did write it.
You did write it.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like trying to do that?
You know what? This one came easier. Boston to Philly, I wrote at a point when I was going through a transition of my life and my career. And I was moving from an old city to a new city.
New city.
I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any family there. So there was a lot to pull from. But at the same time, it was very difficult because I'd never written a movie before.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
Okay.
With SELLA's Kitchen, I stared at that blank canvas as an experienced director, as a more cultured individual.
Right.
So it actually was a lot easier because the words kind of just came out of me. And the images, I already knew. And the fact that I knew I'd be shooting in Boston, the place that I grew up my entire life, I knew exactly where I wanted to shoot. I knew the locations I wanted to put out
okay.
there. Yeah.
So you already have your locations and
Yes.
where you want to. That'd be interesting. I would really like to be around when you start shooting, because I'd like to see some of your sets and where you're going to be shooting from.
Can we invite her on set? Is that something we can do?
We definitely can.
I would definitely love that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I think one thing we pride ourselves in is our picks on location.
Good.
We want to make sure people have never seen some of these places before. And that's something we will do with SELLA's Kitchen as well.
Beautiful. Now, and maybe I got confused, and maybe I just realized this is probably what I did, is I thought that you were going to be filming
in New York.
In New York.
Both. We're going to be shooting.
Oh, so you're going to be doing both.
Right. It's going to be in Boston and New York. Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So will you be starting in Boston or will you be starting in New York?
We will be starting in Boston.
You will be starting in Boston. So it's a lot of going back and forth.
Yes, it is.
It's a very popular method in filmmaking that not too many people know about, which is having a story set in one place, but actually shooting somewhere else.
Yes.
One example in particular that I think everyone can relate to at this point is the new Edition movie that just premiered on BET. That's a Boston movie. Those are Boston boys, and but that wasn't shot in Boston.
It was not Boston at all.
I haven't seen it, so I don't even know.
Right.
It's a good movie.
I'll have to check it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I really have to check it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I am looking forward to this movie. I'm looking forward to watching you guys begin filming, and I'm looking forward to finding out what SELLA's means.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't tell me that.
She tried to pull it out of me.
I tried. I tried very hard.
No, very dedicated. We can't
I tried very hard. Have you found it hard to cast?
I did. I actually found it very hard to cast because as thriving as the Boston art scene is, it's very hard to get the know out there. It's hard to get the audience to know about when you're having a casting call. And you know, as much as we're buzzing, you know, as much as everyone knows about what we're doing at this point, we still go through the pitfalls of being an independent filmmaker, which means that sometimes people don't want to take us serious. And so we didn't get the outcome we wanted. Well, not the outcome. We got the outcome we wanted. We didn't get the foot traffic that we wanted.
The foot traffic.
And that was really important. But you know, the show goes on, as they say.
I agree. And I was asking Jamil, I asked about I had learned that originally Marley was supposed to have been a male, and then he turned into being a female.
Absolutely.
Now, and he told me why. I want your perspective. Why? Why did it go from being a male to a female?
You know what? Black Girl Magic 2017. You know, these guys, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I don't get it.
He said, I don't get it. That's all there is to it. I just don't get it.
You know, I had my heart set on it being a boy, but they came out.
There had to have been a reason for that. You know, I think there was a very strong reason it turned out to be a female.
I think so.
And I'm waiting for the film to be filmed and put together so I can actually see it.
You know, I'll say one thing, not to interrupt, but one thing that it just seemed to be at this point is a lot of the cast are women, and a lot of the production team are women, and a lot of them are women of color.
What?
We have some amazing, so we have 2 associate producers that actually are also associated with BNN, Sabine and Erica.
Right.
They both do an amazing job.
Yes, they do.
And they came on board to help us out. And when I put out the posting for help with this production, there were a lot of men that applied, but none of which had experience that I wanted.
Enough that you needed.
And Black Girl Magic comes in, and Erica and Sabine are out here. And so the cast, I wanted to be 50-50. And yet, you know, here we are, and Arthur is the only male that really is part of the core team of the cast. Yeah.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Coincidence or destiny?
Oh, you guys gotta come back. I want you all to come back while you're filming.
Okay.
And I want folks to know how the filming is going, where you guys are at.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna ask you, what are your future productions? Do you have any projects, any more projects besides Sally's Kitchen in the works?
Okay. This is for next time or for right now?
This is for no. This is for right now.
Okay, so I mean, there's always projects in the pipeline.
Okay.
But this is my second film.
Right.
After this, I think we're going to take our
hiatus. Okay.
And let the buzz finally settle down and speak with the major studios and see what they're willing to offer us. Because with Boston and Philly, and now with this film happening 5 months later, with Boston and Philly still in the festival circuit. We just got accepted to Houston Black Film Festival. I think you may know that.
Really?
We did. And we've been accepted to a lot of other film festivals as well.
Have you? We'll talk about that later.
Okay, yeah.
I just thought of something since you're talking about film festivals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with our next film, I think at this point, the major studios should start knocking on our door. And we'll see if we want to open it up.
They oughta. Should go send a letter to Oprah Winfrey.
Yes, better come with that paycheck.
See what I'm saying? Better go see Oprah.
And the first thing we do, donation.
There you go.
There it is.
I am very glad that I had you guys out here. I am like so excited. I got to see a little bit of Boston to Philly.
Oh yeah?
That was like, we had that clip.
Yes.
That was so profound. And then listening about Sally's Kitchen, and to me, I got to see that similarities because they're all young people, and they all have different walks of life, and they have different issues in their life. And to see, like with Boston and Philly, they all began to come together and realize working together they can grow their self-esteem, they can have passion.
Overcome.
And overcome.
Right.
And with Sally's Kitchen, there's some of those similarities there from what you talked about with being the mean guy.
Right, yeah, the general.
The general.
Very much so, yeah.
You know? And that tells me with you having that part and you doing that, that would begin to, because I don't know yet, we haven't started filming, but I think that that's going to be a big piece.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And we're going to, I want to see how that plays out. You know, I want to see how that plays out. Because as I'm thinking about what I've seen and what we've talked about here, it makes me wonder, you know, that could actually be, both of those films could actually be teaching tools
yes.
for community. You were raised, by the way, Arthur and I know each other.
Oh yeah.
We are from the.
These are very popular.
We are from the same. We are from the same hood.
Yeah.
Okay. And that would be a way of letting our young people, especially the ones that we're still trying to hold on to. You know, we may be able to change some of the ones that are off to the left already, but the ones that are still getting there, the ones that need to see that there's more to life, that you can change, that there can be a unit, you can have unity, and you can learn from each other. And as long as you can get a guidance that you can trust and have faith in. So this is what
Very well put.
This is what I got out of listening to Arthur talk about the film and his lead role, and listening from Boston to Philly and seeing that piece. That's what I got out of it.
Yes.
You know, and I said, wow, it's like, that piece was profound. Now I'm gonna have to go find it, because see, now I wanna see the whole thing.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
I can't wait. I can't wait for SELLA's Kitchen. I'm ready for that one. I wanna see that one. I wanna be there when the curtain goes up.
Okay.
You know, but in the process, I sincerely mean this. We want you to come back and have you guys come back again during the process, so we can see where we are and how the film's progressing. And I can't wait. I can't wait. I understand that. I wanna grow it. I wanna grow with the film.
Well, I urge you to stay with us, and everyone watching at home to also make sure you follow our stories, support us. Go on to Facebook.com.
I was gonna ask you, do you have a Facebook page?
We do. We're on every social media platform. We just launched our Facebook page, SELLA's Kitchen. It's SELLAS Kitchen. SELLA's Kitchen. Okay. And we have our website, SELLA's Kitchen, the film.
Yep, I got it.
Yep. Just SELLASKitchen.com.
I got it.
SELLASKitchen.com. Yeah.
SELLASKitchen.com.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell people that this film is being filmed here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell people it's coming.
If they don't know, they should know.
That's
If
right.
they don't know, that's a problem.
And see, I've got, I have a